Beer? Then Zanzi Beach Bar on the Strip is the place to be. Come and enjoy great Indian and continental food. Sip on your favorite cocktail as the sun goes down. Join us for a Friday Night Live. It's a party always waiting to happen. Saturday and Sunday, opening hours are 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. Tuesday to Thursday with extended hours on the weekend. Tiranga and Zanzi good food. Excellent customer service, great experience. For reservation, call 665-6411. Oh, by the way, 869 are available at both locations.
Bestway Pharmacy, conveniently located at the Caribbean Cinemas building, provides safe, fast, and accurate prescription processing. We are committed to providing quality products and services. We offer over-the-counter and prescription drugs, personal care items, gift items, free blood pressure checks, blood sugar checks. We even offer free blood sugar testing kits, source hard-to-get drugs, and much, much more. We give you what you expect. Professional service with a smile. Come, make use of our ample parking, private consultation room, and extended pharmacy hours from 8:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. Mondays to Thursdays and up to 8 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. Call us at 466-4480.
Join Sister Marshall on Mondays to Fridays at 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. on Sugar City FM 90.3 for spiritual connections. Tune in.
We here at Sugar City 90.3 FM understand that these are economic hard times and that it is not business as usual. We also understand that survival of your business is not only important to you, your family, and your investors, but also your employees. At Sugar City 90.3 FM, we are confident that with the rollout of the COVID-19 vaccine worldwide and here at home, your business can begin to return some profitability. To help you be on your way, we are willing to work with you and offer the lowest advertising rate to fit your diminished budget. No business is too small to benefit from advertising, and our goal is to offer the lowest rate that will benefit all. So, call us at 762-1001, that is 762-1001, and let Sugar City 90.3 FM put your business back in business.
Bringing the heat to the other radio stations around the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. Sizzling hot Sugar City FM.
The best hits of the 80s, 90s, and now.
Playing the best music from the world. R&B, hip-hop, urban music, gospel, calypso, soca, reggae, and dancehall. Nothing but the hits on Sugar City 90.3 FM.
The opinions and statements made by the host and participants in this program are not those of the owners, advertisers, and management company of Sugar City FM 90.3, nor are such statements necessarily supported or endorsed by owners, managers, advertisers of the station. While we encourage all to share their opinions, do not support comments that may slander, discriminate, or otherwise offend anyone, and we insist that you refrain from any such statements.
Here's a little song I wrote. You might want to sing it note for note. Don't worry. Be happy. In every life we have some trouble. But when you worry, you make it double. Don't worry.
Don't worry. Whenever you hear that happy sound, you know the people's voice is going live, streaming via Sugar City FM Facebook. We are there now. You're listening to the new Sweet, Sweet, Sweet Sugar City 90.3 on your dial. Keep it locked. The program this morning, The People's Voice. Your host, your humble servant, Michael Oliver Powell. And please remember, this is the station that rocks the nation, the heartbeat of the Caribbean, and we'll be coming to you live and lively from Greenland's on St. Kitts. As per usual, I always start my program with a shout out to our dearly beloved brothers and sisters in Nevis. So I say a blessed and pleasant good morning to all of our dearly beloved brethren and sisters in St. Kitts and Nevis. My beloved brethren, this morning I have with me the Queen of the West, and I like to call her the Lioness for number 3, the lady who they said couldn't do it last time, and she did it, and they say she can't do it this time, and she's going to do it again. You know, we used to have a little slogan, bang him already, and she going to bang him again. You understand? That is the slogan. She bang him already, and she going to bang him again. And so I have the Honorable Akila Byron Nisbet here with me this morning. So I always want to give her the more time, so I have to abandon all the entire shout-out that I suppose will take 15 minutes. I don't want to cut her short at all. So, Lady Lioness, could you introduce yourself, please?
Good morning. This is the Honorable Akila Byron Nisbet, and I am here with Ambassador Powell for what will be quite a show this morning. There's so much to talk about and so much more that we can talk about that probably wouldn't to the hour. But let me start saying good morning to the people of West Bastia. 2 years ago, West Bastia lent me their vote and asked me to be their representative within Parliament and allowed me to have a seat at the table in Cabinet. It has been quite a 2-year journey so far. So much we were able to accomplish together, but there's still so much more we have to do in West Bastia and that we will do together. And so let me start by saying thank you to all of the people of West Bastia for putting their trust and supporting me and giving me the strength to continue going. I'm looking forward to continuing on this journey with the people of West Bastia. Ambassador, the love and support is overwhelming.
Nice.
And as I go door to door, it is even more heartwarming the way people of West Bastia just turns out and gives me all of their love and support. I mean, I had one visit where we were doing canvassing, and this lady saved 2 bottles of apple cider because she was post Victoria Head. And so
ready to celebrate. There
And
we go.
so she gave us a blessing for the Victoria Head, and then she gave the toast to me and all of the canvassers that were en route that day. Then you have others that I would stop by and they would give me fruits and vegetables and say, we need you to be strong and healthy for the road ahead because we gave you a 5-year mandate and you want to turn it into a 7-year mandate, then so be it. They are ready to put back in for a true, full 5-year term, which now we can say is a 7-year term. So I humbly accept and I give myself of service, continued service to the people of number 3. They know that when Akila gives a commitment, Akila delivers. This is why the people in Lime Keel are pleased and happy that they no longer have to deal with the scent of the sewage running down from the hospital Lime Keel to Lime Keel Bay. That was taken care of. I always tell them, just leave it with me. And when I say leave it with me, it's taken care of. The people in Buckley's who were dealing with the incinerator, the smoke from the incinerator from the hospital, years of complaints about that issue. And I said, leave it with me. That too was taken care of. The people in Lagreet who for years have been asking for titles for their lands, for proper infrastructure. I said, leave that with me. And that is on the move, happening, and they will soon have their titles in hand. That is what I do for the West Bastia, and that is what I will continue to do for the people of West Bastia. And so this morning, I just want to say a special thank you from the bottom of my heart to the people of West Bastia. I asked you to hold me accountable, and I'm asking you continue to hold me accountable to the commitments that I make to you each and every day. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I will continue to see you on the road, and I'm thanking you in advance for the victory that is surely ahead in number 3.
Well, that was an opening. That is why the Prime Minister have you as his deputy political leader of the PLP. You sound as though you're ready to take over. you sound like you're going to be our first lady Prime Minister. I'm looking forward to that, honest to God.
I'm always ready to serve in whatever capacity.
Yes. But this morning, elections are nigh. And so we have to look a little. We have election right now. It's like you said, you were given a 5-year mandate.
Correct.
And all of a sudden, somebody decides to throw a spanner in the works, as we say,
yes,
and mash up the whole thing. The best government we have ever had in this country,
So much was done.
You understand me? The best government in terms of performance.
Correct.
This ain't hype. The records are there.
Correct.
And so the Prime Minister, and then again, what it comes down to, in my humble opinion, Akila, is leadership.
It absolutely.
I say to people, if we were supposed to have the most notable pollster in the world, but is to and ask one question of us: who do we believe is the leader that is most capable with a track record at taking the country forward, prosperity in the area of the economy? I ask, what you think would happen to that poll? I believe only one person would come out of that poll. I remember there was a March poll, I was told, and they didn't ask one question, they asked a number of questions, and the Prime Minister got a 61% approval rating way back in March. And the only other person who came behind was Douglas, with I think 33 it was at the time. And there was no mention of Joe, and there was no mention of Sean. I found it a little strange. I don't know whether they didn't show up on the radar or what. But I believe that since then, the Prime Minister has done a wonderful job, and that he has used his deputy for the PLP. We have a young team. Once upon a time, to accuse him of having old people like me around him. Now we have young people who say that they're young. I don't understand what it is you seem to want here. But you started doing a fantastic job in last year. So tell me the things you have in mind to continue to finish, and some new ones which you want to start. For example, the MOENT, the Ministry of Entertainment, I believe, is an area where a lot of our young people and creators want to hear more about.
Absolutely, but let me first start with West Bastia in particular. One of the things that I've already started is the refurbishment and upgrades to the Cardin home. We have heard so many complain that the Cardin home have been built so many years ago, and in most cases there is that thought that it needs to be upgraded. It needs to enter into this new era where we are able to take care of our elderly in a more comfort, a more adaptive type of environment. And so we see the amount of lands do have in the Cardin home itself. And so as Minister of Health, one of the things that I ensured that I did was make sure that the budget was there for the upgrade and renovations to the Cardin home.
Important.
No more talking about it be done. It's about actually getting it done. And so For instance, the completed topographical surveys, and we are now in the design phase.
Oh.
The new and improved Cardin home will see better facilities for our elderly, some private and semi-private rooms, because some persons would like their families to be in private or semi-private rooms. We are going to have better spaces for our nurses and our staff that work there, so a proper cafeteria and a proper area for rest and etc. We're going to upgrade the kitchen at the Cardin home. We're going to just the facilities itself will be upgraded with an expansion so that we can accommodate more, because one of the things the Cardin home does not have the capacity as is for all of the elderly who require or request to be placed at the Cardin home. And so you find that there are some persons that we have actually living at the GNF hospital because we do not have the space at the Cardin home.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yes, yes. And so what we're doing is we're expanding the Cardin home so we can accommodate more and make it a more comfortable setting, and a setting where our elderly is taken care of with pride and dignity, and an environment that best suits them at this time, at this juncture. And so that is one of the things that I definitely, growing up, my family lived just across the street from the Cardin home, and the Cardin was one of our play yard, let's put it that way. And we would interact with the elderly in the Cardin home. Sometimes they want us to buy something for them for the shop, so we go over, get their money, buy what they need and take it back to them. And so it's something, the Cardin home is dear to me, because I've seen the Cardin home, been around the Cardin home, know how the Cardin home operates. And so I knew it was important for us to upgrade those facilities and to improve them and to add more to it. And so that is what we are doing. As I said, the topographical surveys have already been completed and we are now at the design phase. If we stay in number 3, the JNF is located in number 3. And I am so happy that we are now at that place. We are going to be upgrading the JNF, the phase 3. The back of the hospital has been there for some time, needing attention.
Oh, yes.
And needing the proper upgrade and putting in the proper facilities. The psychiatric ward needed to be upgraded so that the persons there are in better environment to take care of their health. And so these are the things that we're going to do with the phase 3 of JNF. It's going to be a new psychiatric ward. It's going to upgrading the kitchen, upgrading the laundry room and where they sterilize the equipment, upgrading our stores, upgrading our all the facilities at the back of the hospital, back of GNF, as well as including our technologies unit, because as you know, we are going digital at the hospital.
Yes.
The health information system where all of our records will be placed digitally. To the hospital, you don't have to be asked a million times to fill out a form. Instead, you will be given a card with your information on it. Will be scanned and the doctors have all your information. We're at that point now where we are just trying to get the funding so that we can put in the infrastructure to support it. And so the application is complete and now we're just waiting for the infrastructure to go in. We can fully digitalize the records at the Joseph and France General Hospital. They wouldn't stop there. That's only phase 1 of it.
Wow.
The next phase of it will see it extended out into our health centers, so that persons who go to the hospital and need to be referred to the community follow up once they leave JNF, that will be done seamlessly. And so our nurses in community will have all the information they need to follow up with patients once they leave Joseph and France General Hospital. So those are some of the things that I have been doing. And then, of course, you were asking about what my plans are for the future. I will go into more detail later. As you know, we have our big rally in number 3 later. It was postponed due to the weather.
Tonight.
So tonight we are down in the Boyd's West Farm community for our big rally, where I will go through a lot more details of what I will be doing and what we will do together in number 3 when I am re-elected as the parliamentary representative for this past year. But just give some ideas. One of the things that we are concerned about, we're seeing how the global scene is going. The war in Ukraine COVID-19 have caused a lot of disruption in the world.
Plenty.
We're seeing issues with food security, fuel. And so we now have to think about how can we secure our own food supply here
Right
in
here,
St. Kitts
yes.
and Nevis. That's something it's very passionate to me. And so one of the things I am committed to doing is developing hydroponics within West Bastia. West Bastia, land have always been issue, but hydroponics, you use less land, but you can get more when you use hydroponics. And so we're going to do the training and provide the seed funding that is necessary for persons to go into hydroponics so that we know what it is that we need. How should we do it best? But it's not just for the farm on that side of things. I'm sure many people didn't know we have a small fishing community in Palmetto. They need some facility so that they can be able to store their catch, because that sometimes they are not able to sell all of the fish that they catch.
That's correct.
So we need proper storage for them, and I've committed to providing them with a fee down in Palmetto Point to allow them to be able to do that. So those are just a few things that I would like to be able to do going forward. And of course, we will continue with our land distribution. We will continue providing housing for the people of West Bastia. Those are things we will continue to do. For us in the People's Labour Party, it's about impacting people's lives and livelihood. You don't do things just to create a smoke screen and to make it look like you're doing something. You do things that actually impact men, women, and their families on that level.
Things that matter.
That touch their lives and matter to them. So the road network is important to the people of East West Farm Development. It's important to the people of Shadwell West. It's important to the people of Trafalgar who need resurfacing. It's important to the people of Camps that needs resurfacing. These are the things we will continue to do to make sure that they are comfortable where they live. And so I will continue to work diligently within West Bastia. And as I said, tonight I will outline a lot more and go into more detail of what the plans are for people of West Bastia. Because at the end of the day, it's about how do we work in the best interest of the people of West Bastia. Now, you were asking me about the Ministry of Entrepreneurship, Entertainment and Talent Development. Now, the good thing is that Moent was given a blank slate. It was a brand new ministry dedicated to the creative arts, something that we've never seen in St. Kitts. How do you take these persons with all of this creative talent and help them to monetize their talents, take them to that next level where they can make it a career? Such the thinking and the culture in St. Kitts that have us believing that creative arts is nothing more than a hobby, and make it something that would believe and they can see the economic value that the creative arts provide. And so during the first year of the ministry, which started in 2020 after the new general elections. Of course, we had to get staff because it's a new ministry. There's no staff. Nothing was provided at that point. So we had to starting from scratch, unlike others who had ministries that have been there for decades. This was a brand new ministry that had nothing. So we were starting from scratch. And so we had to focus on getting our staff in place. We had to focus on doing our policies, doing our research we needed to do in order to make sure that the ministry caters to and is able to provide the adequate assistance needed for persons within the creative industry so that we're able to achieve what we're trying to achieve in helping them to monetize their talent, build their brands, build their business. Because at the end of the day, it is creative arts, but it is their business. So an artist painting and selling their art is their business. A musician writing and producing their songs, that is their business. And so we have to make sure that people understand that and we give them the support that they need to build on that. So once we were able to do our research, we realized that the ministry should be broken down into 4 areas. Music and entertainment, that focus on music and partying and entertainment, and then we have the visual and performing arts that focuses on that. And then we have the arts itself, which encompasses all the other theater art and the like, and dance, etc. And then we also thought about innovation. Because, we have those persons who are into robotics,
Yes.
building applications.
And doing quite well.
And they're doing quite well. And so those are the areas that the ministry is focused on. And then we start doing what we call a month of the arts, because we realized we needed to build the awareness of what arts really is, what the creative arts is really about. The first month of the arts focused on visual and literary arts, because a lot of the times people don't remember persons who write books and poetry, the literary artists. They too are creatives. They too have to make money from their creative work. And then the visual artists, the same thing. If you go around, especially on the Bureau, you will see a mural that's painted on the wall, highlighting the creative arts. That was part of our month of the arts, because we're trying to get persons to see and feel what the creative sector is all about. And then what we also have done already as well is training. Training is important, because a lot of our creative artists, they have the talent, but they need that training so that they can be able to build out the business aspect of what they do. And so one of the trainings that we did...
Become professional.
Become professionals.
Very important.
So one of the trainings that we did was called The Business of Music. And we brought in producers and music executives from Canada, the US, Barbados. And they were all here.
Really?
For 4-day workshop.
Wow.
Training persons on the business of music. I am happy and pleased, and I say thank you again to Mr. Ivan Berry. Ivan Berry is a son of the soil who have made his name in the music industry in Canada in particular, with Sony Music is where he started out. And he still have quite a number of connections within that music industry. And he has been extremely helpful to the ministry as it relates to our music and entertainment side of things. And so I just want to publicly say thank you to Mr. Berry for all of the work and effort he has been putting in with us at the ministry behind the scenes as we try to develop our music artists to an international level. And I could tell you that some of the artists who were there and the musicians who were there, afterwards they said to us, you know what? We really don't know what we don't know. And they did not realize what it really means to be in the business of music.
Exactly. They're doing it as a hobby.
They're doing it as a hobby. And so now they see it from the business end of it and understanding where they need to go to take their careers. Because this is your career. This is what you have to invest in it to make it successful. Apart from that training, we also did one on intellectual property rights. Because we understand that many of them don't understand royalties. They don't understand the importance of royalties.
It's all brand new to them.
It's all brand new.
All brand new.
And we're trying to reinforce to them that even with COVID, imagine if all of your music was protected. You would have been home sitting down and making money every time your music plays.
Yeah, something coming in.
We just get them to that place and get them to that. And I'm so passionate about creative art. As being a creative myself, having been a dancer for many years.
Recognize that.
And so it is very passionate about, and it's just about getting our people to that place where they can be competitive within the industry on an international and regional level. That is what we want to see. And so we will continue to provide the training that is necessary. And then, of course, we would have launched recently Moment TV.
Yeah, that's important.
On Channel 4. This is what we're using as a platform to get our creatives work out there so that people, not just in St. Kitts and Nevis, the cable have been working very closely with us. They've identified streaming platforms that would allow Moment TV to be seen internationally and regionally as well.
Wow.
And so imagine your work on Moment TV being seen outside of St. Kitts and Nevis. That is the level in which we are trying to take
That is when the money gonna
creative
start to
arts.
come in.
Exactly. Persons are interested in your work and they want to be able to hire you to do certain things, but as well as tying that back with the training so that when you enter contracts, people do not take advantage of you and that you know what you need to do in order to be successful. That is what the ministry is about. That is what we are focusing on. Of course, we do also have contacts where we are providing the necessary funding as well that you need to support your businesses. We have the ministry appoint person that deals with that, so we can get you loans at special rates, you guarantees for your loans. Because one of the things that creatives say is that they don't trust when you go to a bank, they don't trust that you'll be able to make the money to pay them back because of the fact creative arts isn't taken seriously. And so we are able to get you the guarantee that you need in order for you to be able to get the loans
That is
for
critical,
your business.
This
And
is,
it is
and this
very
is most
important.
important.
It is very important. And outside of the banks and all angel investors are willing to put some, they're willing to put some money in.
I love the name, angel investors.
That's what we call them.
Nice.
They're just there to help because they too want to see people develop and grow. Just encouraging persons to sign up with the ministry, register with the ministry, so that you can be informed of everything that we are doing to help you to continue to grow your creative business, your career. Monetize your business, monetize your career, and then work with us as we continue to try to ensure that persons understand that the creative industry and creative arts isn't a hobby. It's just a hobby. It can provide an economic boost, as it have been doing, an economic boost to St. Kitts and Nevis, and allow us to be able to pivot into new areas of earnings for our country, earnings for the individuals and families is what we're trying to achieve.
Yes, because I can well remember, the days when bands from St. Kitts got contracts to go to New York,
Yep.
to the borders,
Yep.
to St. Martin, to Anguilla, and the rest of it and so on. And it was important. One minute you hear Element gone, the next minute you hear
Yes.
New Vibes
Yes,
gone,
yes.
next Small Axe gone. And I wondered, why is it that seemed to have come to a halt almost
yes,
at one
yes.
point in time? Because I thought it was very important back then for young people, creatives, to get the exposure.
Correct.
You understand?
Correct.
I remember when I was Minister of Labour, way back then, I used to have all kinds of trouble trying to get visas because whenever they go into an American port, they have to get visas.
Correct.
Some of them never traveled before, so it was a good thing for them.
Yes.
Not only for the music, but for their own personal development.
And then while you talk about visas as well, that's another area that we can assist with, because we have been in communications with officials from the embassy, the U.S. embassy, as well as in the U.S., because there are some special visas that artists would require in order for them to travel to work in the U.S. And so again, you come to the ministry, and one of our assistant secretaries will be more than willing to assist you with telling you what is required and helping you through that process so that you will be able to get those visas so you can travel to do what you do best as an artist and make your money internationally. So these are all the things, the foundational things that we're putting in place at the ministry to assist persons. Forgot to mention as well that I am also working with the embassy, the U.S. Embassy in Barbados, in identifying in the U.S. itself, how can we get connected to persons within the film and music industry so that we can create that network. And so I'm supposed to be having those meetings with them to make the initial contact so that then we will be able to offer training opportunities or networking opportunities for persons in film and music in particular in the first instance. So it's a lot of things that we're doing in the background, foundational things that we're doing in the background at the ministry, that when everything begins to roll out, people would understand the level at which we are trying to take the creative arts.
You see, some people asking why the Prime Minister gave you that new ministry. I think they're going to be more than pleased now when they hear, first of all, that you are creative yourself.
Yes,
It's a big difference.
it does, because you understand.
You do
the
not
means.
give a ministry like that to somebody who have never been a creative. They wouldn't even know where to start. You understand? And so, according to what you've been saying here this morning, a lot of important information, especially by two, the visa part of it, important, and two, the funding.
Yes.
You know, because I know the banks in St. Kitts and Nevis are not up to speed with a lot of areas yet that we're working on. And so you have to find ways and means that people can be assisted
Yes.
without having the trauma. Because
Correct.
that's what it turns out to be sometimes for them. You know, traumatic experience, going into the talking your heart out,
Yes.
and then they say, we are very sorry, but we can't help you.
Correct.
You
Yes,
feel
that
as
is
though,
true.
why did you waste your time
That
to go
is
in
true.
there?
That is
And
true.
so you're doing a fantastic job. And that's why you got to get re-elected, you know,
That is why I will be re-elected.
because you need to be able to carry on. Because I don't see, quite frankly, to be honest, with the work you have done already, and
In
you have
2 years.
integrated yourself into this process. Somebody coming in will have to start from scratch again.
Yes.
That will throw the business back 10 years, you know, and the rest of it and so on. And so, yes, this is one of the reasons why you have to be re-elected, and the Prime Minister have to continue to be the Prime Minister.
Yes, indeed.
Because the leadership situation here is what is going to be important.
And that's an important point. See where the world is heading. And we know we have a leadership that is tested, tried, and true. Calm, steady leadership in a time when the world just turned upside down. A pandemic that we haven't seen the likes of in 100 years. But he remained steadfast and calm in his resolve to ensure that lives and livelihoods of the people of St. Kitts and Nevis were protected
Yes,
first
indeed.
and foremost. But it wasn't just about lives and livelihood. He still managed our economic stability at a level where no other country in the world can understand how he did what he did.
No new taxes.
No new taxes.
As a matter
no
of
new
fact,
charges.
reduction in income for government, and still no new taxes.
So just imagine where we are headed. We are hearing about food safety issues. We are hearing about fuel issues. We need a leadership that is experienced enough to deal with those hard economic times, because what we are going to be facing will be economic challenges. And we have leadership that have proven that he is up to the task of ensuring economic stability for St. Kitts and Nevis. And not just economic stability, but he was able to provide us with surplus. Even in those difficult times when
That's
the
right.
world around us was shut down, he still managed this country to allow for us to be able to have surplus. So just imagine as we begin to move out of this era of COVID, and even with the recession around us, we cannot afford to go backward. Our country cannot afford to lose the gains that we have made. And the thing about our Prime Minister's leadership as well is that it is people and people focused and driven. It's about how do we deliver for the people. How do the people benefit from the gains that our country makes as a whole? And we cannot afford to lose that. And we cannot afford to risk what we have gained over his past 7 years of leadership. We cannot afford to risk that
And let's
by
look at-
choosing
look at-
inexperienced
Yep.
or absent leadership.
But look what is happening right now. Last week I broke a record. Funny record. I went to the gas station to fill my vehicle, because that's what I do. I go and fill the vehicle. The first time is over $300 to
Yes.
fill my vehicle.
That wine you did a number on fuel prices.
And if the prime minister had not juiced the income that government was getting,
Correct.
it would cost me $400 to fill the vehicle instead of
Yes,
three.
correct.
And so this is where the leadership comes in, because he has the fiscal space
Yes.
where he can do things like that.
Correct. Correct.
Not only for the vehicle, because a lot of people ain't got no vehicles.
Yes.
So let's take the general public. Everybody got electricity. Look what is happening now. If he hadn't created a fiscal climate where the government could intervene
Yes.
and subsidize electricity, now the cost of fuel gone up. You know what would have happened? All of a sudden, the cost of electricity would have almost doubled, you know.
Yes.
And at the same time, he said, forget about disconnections. I mean, Heavenly Father, help us. Where else you can find another human being with that level of compassion and skill?
Yep.
The fiscal skill to have the financial space to say, okay, you know what? Skellig, the agency responsible, can't afford to buy all this fuel right now because the cost of electricity. But because he's Minister of Finance, fiscal prudent management, he's able to say, okay, let me intervene here.
Yes.
I'm going to pay the money for Skellig, so the cost of electricity don't go up.
Correct.
Let me intervene here, so I could keep the cost of gasoline down.
Yes.
Look what is happening with the busmen and the taximen. Over 100 and something of them, you know,
Yes.
getting this free gas
Yes.
all the way down to September.
Yep.
You understand? I mean, I don't understand how anybody could be thinking in other direction. Something might be wrong with me. But when you see all of these things that are being done at this point in time to keep people comfortable,
Correct.
you understand?
Correct.
But let me tell you something, you know, I've been through all kind of trauma in my life. And one day was one is financial trauma. You understand? Where you see bills coming up and so on, and blah, 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 you ain't got the money, and you don't know where they're going to come from. Look what happened in Sri Lanka just now. You understand? You know what happened there in Sri Lanka? Thousands of people march and the government and the Prime Minister house and the blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
And so, yes.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
here we are. We had the best government in the world. We got it's mashed up, but we got the best prime minister in the world who has put a team together, a very, very competent team.
A very strong team.
Very
Dream
strong
team.
team, you know.
A team that covers all aspects of our society. We have engineers, we have IT, we have small business owners, we have communication specialists, we have our Prime Minister who is a financial guru. And so it's a wide range of individuals who live in their communities and they understand the needs of their communities. I mean, we hear them speak with passion about the things that they would like to be able to do for their communities.
Yes.
And so this isn't a simple team. And I want persons to recognize that. The People's Labour Party took its time to identify candidates, each of the constituencies that we know would be able to represent them and represent them well. Genuine individuals who only want to see the best community and the best for St. Kitts and Nevis. And so I am just so excited about the dream team that we have. I truly am. And I know that with that team sitting at the cabinet table, with our Prime Minister remaining at the head, we will more than be able to take it and Nevis in a forward. We will more than be able to grow our economy, continue to protect our people, and to continue to create jobs for the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. That is what it is about at the end of the day. We don't want to hear all the next spewing, and you realize from the other side, all you get is attacks, but you never hear what is the future plan for St. Kitts and Nevis.
They are fake news specialists.
We are about what can we do to make St. Kitts and Nevis better. That is our focus. And that is what we will continue to focus on doing when elected, when the team of the People's Labour Party takes the halls of Parliament as well as the cabinet. It is always about the people. Because even listen to what you just said. Even in these hard economic times, we were able to create a buffer. And that buffer is going back to the people to make them comfortable. Because the People's Labour Party is just that, about the people. And our dream team of candidates understand that, about the people. We heard them speak and we hear them continue to speak of the things that they have personally been doing. When you hear Jacqueline Bryan telling you that she has a reading program, she assists single parents with food stuff, she assists with having children go to the doctors. That is her personal commitment to people.
Long before she
even had any desires or aspirations for that.
That's important.
When you hear Nubian talk about the fact that he continues to mentor and train young men in his community, try to show them that do not let this story about because you're from McNight, you can't. You can. And he gives them an opportunity. That is people who care about people long before politics. When you hear people like Stachio, who has been giving back to the people of Sandy Point, and I could speak to that personally because I know when he started his businesses, everything was Sandy Point first. If I'm hiring anybody, it must be person from Sandy Point first.
There we go.
He always puts Sandy Point and Sandy Point as Sandy Point, La Valley, Fig Tree. These are people committed. Kendale Labor would do maths classes for children without asking for anything, help them with their homework. He does a sports development. These are people who genuinely did things, not because they wanted anything in return, because they care. They know the communities that raised them, and they want to give back to those communities. Dr. Mark Williams does everything he can for the fishermen down in Deer Bay. He has been part of the basketball team, and how can I give back more to my community? These are people who genuinely care. We know Talbot have always given back to the people of St. Peter's. When he was president of the Bus Association, he did whatever he had to do to make the stops where they needed to be, and he advocated for the bus. These are people who are genuine. These are people who care. And then, of course, we know the Prime Minister continues to do whatever he has to do. And he not even just subjects, it's not even about 7 alone. But he has been put at a place where he can do for all of the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, and that is what he continues to do.
Nevis, I'm glad you mentioned Ann Nevis.
Ann Nevis. And for me in West Bastille, remember, before becoming the parliamentary representative, I sat in Parliament as a deputy speaker. Yes. And as I sat in there and I realized West Bastille was not being represented. Nobody lobbying on behalf of the people of West Bastille. Nobody that the people of West Bastille can go to get assistance, to get guidance. There was no representation in Parliament. There was no representation in West Bastille. And so while there, I stepped up and said, since nobody else is going to do it, they elected a parliamentary representative who all that they ever says I can't. So since they can't, let me step up. Let me lobby. Let me write letters. Let me endorse. Let me make phone calls to make sure the people of West Bastille are represented, because they were crying out and saying they have nobody to turn to, even though they had an elected representative for 5 years.
There we go.
But an elected representative that was not present. An elected representative would go into Parliament and only talk about things that did not concern the people of West Bastille. And so I had to step in to be able to get the roads done in Garvey's, to get housing into the hands of people, to get lands into the hands of people, to get families job opportunities, individuals and families job opportunities, to be able to provide them with assistance on getting onto the PAP program that had started during that time when there was a different elected representative. That's why the people of West Bastia said to me, you must represent us. Because even when you were not the representative, you represented us well and you represented us to the fullest. And so, of course, we can only imagine what you would do when you are truly given the chance to be the representative. And that is what I will continue to do in the next term of 5 years. I've only been there for 2 years. In 2 years, I've been able to do so much for the people of West
You light a lot
Bastia.
of fires, man. You lit a lot
And
of
there
fires.
is so much more that is still there to do, and I would love to be able to continue to do together with the people of West Bastia.
There's one little thing, like, you know me, I throw in a little thing here and there. You talk about the then elected representative not getting anything done. Well, he got a couple of things done, and he got thrown out of parliament a couple of times. You understand? Instead, the man go look after the people who elect him. He tell the speaker, I mean, could you imagine a parliamentarian telling the speaker, we on this side don't support you? I've never heard such rudeness, callous rudeness in my life. And every time he gets up, he tries to embarrass the speaker, and the speaker had to put him out of parliament a couple of times.
Yes.
I mean, that's a terrible thing to have as your legacy. You understand? But this is, again, you know me, the politician in me, I have to remember little things like those.
Yes.
So with all the positive things you're talking about, that little thing being going on in me, so forgive me for intervening.
No, that is quite fine. It's quite fine because we have to remind the persons of what it is that was and why they said no more as we continue on this journey forward, moving the constituency forward, moving West Bastia forward. You must remind them sometimes that there was an opportunity given and that opportunity was taken for granted. Nothing, absolutely nothing in the 5 years that they were given an opportunity to be a representative. And so that is why West Bastia will continue on the path that we are on. We've been moving forward. A lot of progress have been made. There's still so much more that we have to do together. And so I give of myself, as I've always done, to the people of West Bastia. My office never closed in those 2 years. I committed that I make myself available to the people of West Bastia. And every Thursday, I sat in my office to meet with the people of West Bastia so that they know their representative is here. We were in COVID, we had the lockdowns and we had restrictions, so we couldn't move around as much as I would have loved to be able to move around. And when I started my walkthroughs in November, I never envisioned that by January we would have taken this turn.
Imagine.
I was just doing my walkthrough because that's the commitment I made to the people of West Bastia. But unfortunately, what should have just been my community walkthroughs ended up being a campaign.
There we go.
And so my commitment will always be the same. I'm not going to wait until an election time comes for you to see me, feel me, touch me, and know I am there. I will continue to make myself available. As I said before, my constituent office, the doors will never be closed. They're always open to the people of West Bastia so that you can get the assistance that you deserve. You ain't gonna just see me around election time. You will see me all year round for the next 5 years when I am your representative. Because that is what representation is all about. That is what it is about, the people. And you're supposed to continue to stay with the people. You're supposed to continue to make yourself available to the people, not just in the last few months leading up to an election, but all 5 years when you are the representative. And that is what I will continue to do.
Interesting, because you see, what I liked, you had a vision center before they start calling the offices vision center.
That is true.
I don't know who came up with that name, but I love it. I love the idea of this vision.
Yes.
Because people call me and say, Mike, what is this PLP talking about, vision center? I says, it's about understanding vision. Each representative has, not only for the country whole,
Correct.
also for the community that they're going to be
They're going to be
representing.
serving, correct.
Because there had to be vision. Because even the Bible says there is no vision, people perish.
Correct.
You understand?
Correct. And it's to those centers as well that people from the different communities can come, speak with their representative, and also speak of these as we would like to see. And together with your representative, you create even more for the people of your communities.
You know, somebody from the opposition, as usual, why is it that people feel that in opposition to propose everything? You understand me? One person from the opposition, I was walking, going to National Bank one day, and he shouted my name, and he called me by name, and he said, "Are you talking about Vision Center? Vision Center is for people who are blind and can't see." Could you imagine?
Yeah.
The kind of mentality that was pure garbage like that. You know, he should have been charged for littering. Honest to God. He should have been charged for littering to be in the center of town spirit or vision centers for people who are blind and can't see. But that's what you get from the opposition that we have, unfortunately. It's very unfortunate.
Yeah.
Because the opposition is supposed to be an alternative.
Yeah.
They show no sign at all of being capable of taking this country where it wants.
Unlike our PLP slate, who remain focused on the task ahead, focused on delivering for the people, focused on growing our economy, protecting our people, and creating more jobs, delivering a secure future. That is what we are focused on. We don't have any time to be bothered about stories and making up things and misinformation, because there's a lot of misinformation and miseducation of people that they do.
Yes.
We are all about moving forward and so focused on the task ahead, because we know we can't risk the gains that our country have made. And so while others time to miseducate and misinform people and spew lies, we are about how do we make your lives better? How do we move forward? Educating you about all of the options and opportunities that are there for the people, because that's all we're about. How do we help the people? How do we move your lives forward and upward?
Look what happened just over last weekend. Total fabrication about Sassia being in Sandy Point and having some altercation with another young man. When poor Sassia was even in Sandy Point.
Yes.
Total fabrication. Look at the other one I saw the other day. The Prime Minister made it abundantly clear that the reason why he's giving the gas subsidy to the busmen is to prevent them from jacking up prices. Look what they went time out, you know, to go and put out a bus list from the 1st of July. But nothing to all go so.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
And so some people don't understand what is it they're dealing with.
But I think what it shows as well is that it's giving persons that contrast.
Oh, yes, it is.
Do you want people who are focused on you and focused on moving the country forward and delivering a secure future, versus persons who only spew lies,
fake news,
misinformation, fake news, because there's no substance? Or do you want persons that are just empty vessels? That is the options before you. Our dream team gives you substance. Every time the dream team opens their mouth and speaks, it's positive, and it's how we are going to move St. Kitts and Nevis forward and deliver that secure future. And that's important for everyone to recognize. That's very important. Without a vision, the people.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
And all you've been hearing is the vision for the future St. Kitts and Nevis.
That's right.
Under a PLP government and under the leadership of Dr. Timothy Hess.
Well, okay, you have 10 minutes.
Oh, wow. That time went by quickly.
Very, very quickly.
Oh, my goodness.
So you got 10 minutes left to do everything that you want to do.
So,
go for it.
Minutes, all I'm going to do is invite the people of West Bastia and the people of St. Kitts and Nevis on a whole to our big rally in number 3, West's love will be on display in number 3 this evening down in West Farm, Boyd's communities. So come on out. I mean, yesterday the amount of people who were by the office trying to get shirts and whistles and hats because they want to show their support for myself, Akila Byron Nisbet in number 3 and the People's Labour Party. So we're taking all of that energy into our rally tonight. It's going to be a huge rally because people are stating, want to make it abundantly clear. West Bastille are standing firm with Akila Byron Nisbet, just like my song says. So let them know, let them know, let them know. We're standing firm, we're standing firm, we're standing firm, we're standing firm. In West Bastille, that is what we're doing. And so we're inviting everyone to come on out this evening to West Farm Boyd's community as we have big public rally number 3 for the launch of the C3 campaign, the local campaign in C3. Come on out to hear from the Dream Team. Come on out to hear from myself. Most importantly, come on out to hear from the Prime Minister, Dr. the Honorable Timothy Harris. This evening, it starts at 7 p.m. and you don't want to miss it. There's a lot that's going to be said tonight that you don't want. Same energy and hype that we had from last night, we're taking it into today, taking it right down to tonight. So I'll see one and all tonight in West Bastille, down in the Boyd's West Farm area for our big PLP rally this evening. Remember, the People's Labour Party is the only party that's focused on growing our economy, protecting our people, and creating jobs, and deliver a secure future for the people of St. Kitts and Nevis.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Well, you know, it's always a pleasure. For some reason or the other, whenever you were here, time seemed to go faster.
It does, right?
All that means is as often as possible. That is what it means. The place is always a place here for you.
Thank you.
You know something, you're talking about creatives?
Mm-hmm.
Every candidate out there, somebody told me, last year told me, that in Sandy Point is 6 different creatives made up songs for him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's what constituency.
I know.
You understand? And I've never seen anything like that before.
Yes, they are coming out to show their support as well. So I have Ruckus, I have Nichoby, I have iMark, I have Dejour. All of them have songs for my campaign as well.
Beautiful, beautiful.
And so we've been releasing those since yesterday, one by one, and we're building that hype to tonight, and they will be performing tonight as well.
Nice, nice, nice. You're listening to the new Sweet Sugar City 90.3 on your dial. Keep it locked. The program this morning, The People's Voice, your host, your humble servant, Michael Oliver Powell. My guest, the Lioness, Queen of the West. We'll have a big rally tonight and so on. The Honorable Akila Byron. It's been a pleasure having you here.
It was
Akila.
a pleasure being here.
And like I said, please remember, this is your home. Between election and day, you can come as often as you want.
Thank you so much.
And so that
Mr.
is how
Powell.
it is. I would like to thank all of you listening this morning at home and abroad. Apologies for not doing the show. You know how it is. Time goes fast when Akila is here. So I would like to thank all of you, and I would like to hope that the good Lord continue to bless and keep each and every one of you, that He continues to make His face upon you, that He continues to be gracious unto you and to give you His peace. And please, let us all remember, this is the that the Lord made. Let's all rejoice and be glad in it. If you didn't get a chance to hear this program live this morning, don't worry. Be happy. It will be rebroadcast this evening on the Sweet Sugar City. And if not this evening, probably do it tomorrow evening, because this evening, the big rally will start at the same time that we should rebroadcast.
7 p.m.
All right, so I'm making an announcement now. We'll do it tomorrow evening. Because we can't afford not to have a rebroadcast of this wonderful program. So the rebroadcast will be tomorrow evening at 7 o'clock and not this evening of the big rally. I will be back here on today. It's Friday?
Yeah,
yes.
it's Friday
wow,
already.
wow. I'll be back here Monday morning
Yeah.
live to continue to inform and educate. Some people say TGIF, thank God it's Friday. Party time start. It is by this afternoon, 4th Street, 4th people.
And then they're going to transfer that to the Boys West Farm community.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I'll be back Monday morning to continue to inform and educate. Until then, blessed and peaceful weekend to all. Abundant blessings to every man, woman, and child. God bless. Bye-bye. I'm out.
It is late, he may have to litigate. Don't worry, be happy. Look at me, I'm happy. Don't worry, be happy. I give you my phone number. When you worry, call me. I make you happy. Don't worry.